So I should have mentioned I wasn't aware of any of this until after it was over, so I had no idea she was like making TikToks about any of this or who she really was. And she's done this before where I didn't realize that she was who she was, but it was pretty obvious, yeah, she was filming throughout the date, which is a huge no-no for me. But of those two, the filming during the date is what got to me, because just if I had known who she really was, I wouldn't have agreed to the date.
He noticed that she was recording the entire interaction on their first date. I guess she was trying to create content for her TikTok, but it didn't go well as he left and canceled the second date.
Any man that's okay moving into my house is not a man, right?
So you're saying you prefer to have a man that is able to provide for you rather than going, let's say, 50-50?
It's not even about providing. It's about men being men and women being women. If a woman's making more than a man, if a woman is doing more, like say a man's moving into my house that I bought, the ego, that dynamic, it's just not gonna work. You have to think logically. Love is very low on the list.
It's painful, but hey, she's correct. She is very right. I won't let any man move into my house. Do they ever stop and listen to themselves? So if any woman moves into a man's house, what do you call the woman? That's short-term thinking. A progressive man may fall into difficulties and move in with anyone, and then rise to levels previously unimaginable. Love is very low on the list.
Any man that's okay moving into my house is not a man, right?
I wouldn't advise a man to move into his partner's house, but her viewpoint on this matter is interesting. Questioning a man's masculinity just because he temporarily needs support isn't very smart, as those two are not related. And she will be the first to complain that it's hard to find a partner. This is the type of mindset that is tricking them, and they are unknowingly making their dating life more challenging. There are many reasons a man might temporarily need support, and if she disqualifies him for that reason, she might miss an opportunity to secure a good man. But this is something most of them learn late in life. In our current economy, anyone can find themselves in that situation, and in most cases it's temporary, so I didn't understand her point.
It's not even about providing. It's about men being men and women being women.
It's interesting that the only time they use this talking point is when some sort of payment becomes a subject. I know she would have reminded him that we are equal if they were talking about a different topic. She wants to pick and choose when to be independent, but this is not how things work.
Love is very low on the list.
She is not alone when it comes to this mindset, and this is another reason our dating scene is getting harder. As she said, love is very low on the list, and this is why they are chasing those six-figures guys who aren't interested in commitment. Then later they will complain that those guys aren't serious about relationships, but their dating issues would improve a lot if they place value on more important things other than money. Things that would make their potential prospect a good husband and father.
He saw her recording their first date, so he cancelled their second date.
So I'm one of the guys that Molly Rudders went on a date with. Yes, really, and she's made 3 different videos about me. It's these 3, go watch them later if you need to. So a lot of people have been asking, are these dating stories that she makes even real? Do these really happen? And where are these guys to come and tell their side of the story? So like from the very get-go, I felt like I was being interrogated through text, which I guess is normal. Like you match someone, you start texting them, you got to get to know them and stuff, like figure out what they're actually looking for. Especially if you're leading up to like a very first date and you've never met before, you really just need to chill and get to know each other first. And her level of like intensity and interrogation was like a little much for me.
She used this method to extract as much information as possible for her TikTok experiment, but that strategy didn't work well as it turned him off.
Secondly, I am not the one who canceled that date on Sunday. She said that I said I had a hell of a week at work. No, I didn't. She canceled on me because she had some emergency. And so the dry texting thing she said in her video, that's not really true. She's just really legitimately a self-proclaimed yapper. Like one of those people who will talk their head off at you and then like just not let you get a word in and then be like, oh, you're really quiet. She's one of those people. And yes, we did actually finally end up meeting and we brought our dogs. I brought mine and she brought her 2 little dogs. So her main complaint was that I wasn't being as flirty in real life as I was through text. And well, there's 2 reasons for this. I didn't realize that she was who she was, but it was pretty obvious, yeah, she was filming throughout the date, which is a huge no-no for me.
What made her think a guy wouldn't mind being filmed by someone he just met? Maybe she forgot they are still stranger and most people wouldn't like it. I know she wouldn't feel comfortable if her date was recording her either.
Like, I'm not a huge TikToker, but I'm not gonna whip my phone out and like record a date, especially not a first one. Like, some stuff just needs to be private. Like, you don't need to film every second of your life, especially your personal life. And I knew she was doing this, like, I noticed it. Like, it wasn't like a secret. I think she was trying to cover it up, but like, I knew what she was doing.
Why was she trying to film a stranger? She needs to find a better way to create content.
And like, I'm not trying to be mean and stuff, but like, she doesn't quite look like her pics in person. But of those two, the filming during the date is what got to me, because just if I had known who she really was, I wouldn't have agreed to the date.
We go on dates to have a good time and analyze whether there is chemistry. We are not there to be part of a case study or involuntarily participate in other people's content creation. A lot of people are looking for ways to create content, but this is not the best strategy. She will need to reevaluate her strategy because trying to generate videos by filming the interaction with people she never met isn't a good idea. Imagine going on a date with someone who is recording the whole interaction. It would definitely turn most people off as we didn't agree to participate in their case study. I wonder how she would react if she noticed that the person she was meeting for the first time was recording their whole conversation. We know she wouldn't be happy with it, and this is what she should have considered before recording their date. Apart from the uncomfortable environment this situation creates, she forgot that by recording it, it sends a message she went on that date to work instead of to know him. Also, most guys would assume that she is not serious, and she does the same thing with many other guys. So at that point, the date would be off, and most of us would remove ourselves from that situation, just like he did. We know she would have done the same thing. She wouldn't take a guy seriously if he was recording their date either.
If you're not gonna spend on me, get out of my DM. Do not be wasting my time. I'm not interested.
Well, there is something to be said about being upfront and honest.
I think that's all you should know. I'm very expensive. I have a very expensive taste. I'm like trying to get another piano.
Oh my, there's at least one word for that, if not several.
So, make it make sense.
So to make it make sense in the easiest possible way, that individual sounds like they're charging for their time.
Cannot be wasting my time on someone that's not spending on me. Know what I mean? Does it add up?
It kind of makes a person wonder what exactly that would add up to.
She apparently has expensive taste, but you can't buy class. She doesn't look like she has expensive taste though. If you're a low-income woman, just say that. When did people become so entitled? I'm baffled. At least you admit you are in for the money. I will gladly not waste her time. By watching her video, many will be surprised by her statement as it seems like she is not being reasonable. But we need to understand that a lot of guys won't have an issue doing it. Many simps are doing well and they use their wealth as a tool to get women, and this is why she will have no issue finding candidates willing to take this position. She probably was given gifts already for no reason, and now she thinks that whoever wants to talk to her must pay for her time. I don't know what is worse, her ideology as to what she expects or the fact that there are simps who are willing to spend the amount it takes to validate her expectations. But one day she will eventually wake up, the day she crosses paths with a confident man, a man who won't pay a woman to talk to him. This is when she will realize that she was living in a fantasy world. I don't know why she isn't trying to get a job if she needs people to support her financially. Where is her money? If she can't take care of herself, she should be worried about finding a job, not dating.
I am no longer going on coffee dates, thanks to the TikTok comments on my last video. Obviously, it's a low effort date, but I try to take into consideration that mature adults have lives, they have jobs, they have friends and family, they have hobbies. So why not try to get together for like a quick coffee and see if there's a vibe and move on from there? But you brought to my attention that a man who gets defensive about a $5 coffee or a man that gets offended by a $5 coffee is not the guy for me. So I will only be accepting dinner dates from now on. Someone that can plan a date at a restaurant, take into consideration where I live, because I live in the suburbs and it's far from mostly everything, and that can carry on a conversation face to face.
What if he is not defensive but asks to go grab coffee? I'm confused. What's the problem? Genuine question. The end of this video surprised me. She started so well by explaining that she thought it was reasonable to go on a coffee date the first time just to check if there is chemistry, but in the end, she stated that only a dinner date would be accepted. It seems like she also wants to get a free dinner. Maybe she felt like she was losing as she wouldn't take anything if there wasn't a second date. So now she wants to leave with at least free food, and this is why guys aren't willing to spend their money on it. Why do you feel the need to go on a dinner date the first time meeting each other when you just acknowledge it serves to check whether there is a good vibe? The most interesting part was the entitlement level. Why should someone who doesn't know you be responsible to pay for your dinner? Since you guys are strangers, there shouldn't be this type of expectation. She is not taking into consideration that if a guy is trying to find someone and goes on a few dinner dates per month, it will eventually affect his finances. So this is something to be considered. Just do a coffee date for the first time, and if it goes well, you can expect a dinner date on the second, as at that point it would make more sense. The best part is that Chad wouldn't be required to do any of that.
Welcome to our self-development section. Today we're going to talk about the importance of choice. I know a lot of people still don't understand that they have the power to change their lives. Things can change completely if they are willing to choose the right path. And this is what we are going to talk about today.
You have two choices. You live the life of your dreams. You made the money. You gained the millions of followers right here. Look, millions. You get your car, you pay it off, you read the books, you do what's necessary in order to win. You open the computers and you work. You sit down and you work. You film the content. You actually focus on your goals. Or you do not achieve your dreams. You live the life of regret. You eat like shit. You don't work out. You play video games. And worst of all, you're broke. You watch influencers who don't provide you any value, and on top of that, you don't do anything to progress your life. So you have two choices. Choosing the life of regret, eating unhealthy, knowing that these people are not providing you value in the content that you watch, knowing that you're not working out, knowing that you're not even eating healthy, knowing that you're not improving your mind. Or are you going to improve your mind? Are you going to watch content that's going to help you improve? Are you going to figure out ways to make money? Are you going to join a network of people who can help you? Are you going to get mentored by someone who knows what they're doing, just like me? Now, people always ask me how I gain my millions of followers, and I tell them that, you know what, I'm going to create a private mentorship. So if you're interested and you actually want to grow and you want to live that dream life, then go ahead and comment VIP, and I'll see you inside.
Most of us know that this young man is 100% correct. We have full control of what is going on in our lives. We decide what time we wake up, we decide what to do during the day, and lastly, we also decide what time we sleep. So it's up to us to control those three phases correctly, and our life will change completely. Start waking up early, and don't stay in bed scrolling on social media, as it's taking a lot of your time. Make sure you have a plan for the day. Work on yourself. Have a goal, a project, something that can take your life and the life of your loved ones to the next level. When you come home after work, make sure you use those hours wisely. Don't spend those hours playing games or watching Netflix. Use this time to work on things that will improve your future and the future of those around you. If you are not willing to make those sacrifices now, you won't see much changes. You won't see improvement. You must be willing to put in the work now so you can get the reward later. Don't waste your time and energy on things that won't improve your life. You need to be mindful of what you do daily. You need to understand that your current situation is the result of your previous choices. So if you are not happy with it, it means that you will have to do things differently. This is all for today's video, and we hope you like it. Make sure you subscribe to our channel on your way out.